Tonight, a story of unprecedented scale. The United States has shut down the Panama Canal, severing a vital artery of global commerce. The massive steel gates are sealed, and the steady parade of ships has ground to a halt. This is not a drill or a technical glitch. It's a deliberate, strategic decision by the U.S. government, citing grave national security concerns. The White House remains silent, fueling panic and confusion worldwide. Leaders scramble for answers, corporations watch their stock values plummet, and ordinary people wonder what this means for their daily lives. Satellite images show a growing traffic jam of colossal ships, each a broken link in the global supply chain. The Panama Canal is more than a shortcut. It's the beating heart of a globalized system, now stopped. The decision in Washington has redrawn the map of global trade overnight, challenging the foundations of international cooperation. The world is holding its breath, waiting to see what comes next. Tonight, we explore how this single act could reshape our lives in the days, weeks, and months to come. To grasp today's crisis, we must look back. The Panama Canal, carved through jungle and mountain, was a marvel of engineering, connecting the Atlantic and Pacific and transforming global trade. Before 1914, ships faced an 8,000-mile detour around Cape Horn. The canal cut that to 50 miles, saving time, money, and lives. The U.S. controlled the canal for most of the 20th century, using it as a symbol of power and a strategic military asset. In 1999, Panama assumed full control, managing the canal efficiently and expanding it in 2016 to accommodate massive modern ships. 6% of world trade passes through its locks each year. For over a century, the canal has been a constant, a reliable artery for the world economy. Its closure is not just a logistical problem, it's a symbolic blow to the principles of open trade and global cooperation. The world's faith in seamless connection has been shaken. The crisis began with a cryptic U.S. travel advisory for the Panama Canal Zone at 4 a.m. By 5:30, the White House announced the immediate, indefinite closure of the canal, citing an imminent threat to national security. The Panama Canal Authority confirmed U.S. military control of the locks, sealing the waterway. Shipping companies scrambled, with billions in cargo suddenly stranded. By the opening bell, global markets plunged. Shipping stocks collapsed, oil prices surged, and the Dow dropped over 1,000 points. On an average day, 40 ships passed through the canal. Now, they're anchored, carrying over 1.5 million tons of cargo in limbo. The daily toll revenue, nearly $8 million, is gone, but the real loss is in the tens of billions in stranded goods. The information vacuum has fueled speculation and outrage. World leaders demand answers, calling the U.S. action incomprehensible and unacceptable. The canal remains shut, ships anchored, and the world waits in stunned silence. The president is set to address the nation, but for now, the global system is frozen. The impact is immediate, and the uncertainty is paralyzing. The world braces for what comes next. The canal shutdown is not a tap turned off. It's a dam blown apart. Thousands of ships are stuck, each carrying goods for factories, hospitals, and stores worldwide. Rerouting around Cape Horn adds weeks and huge costs. The Suez Canal is no better for many routes. Panama's infrastructure can't handle the volume for overland transport. Industries like automotive and pharmaceuticals will feel the pain first, with assembly lines halting and medicine shortages looming. The energy market reels as U.S. LNG exports to Asia are cut off, driving up global prices. Everyday goods, bananas, coffee, electronics, will become scarcer and more expensive, fueling inflation. Small businesses and consumers will feel the squeeze as prices rise and shelves empty. The intricate, just-in-time system that stocks our shelves is breaking down. This is a global supply chain crisis on a scale not seen in decades. The world's economic engine is sputtering. The economic shock is profound. Wall Street saw a brutal sell-off, with uncertainty rippling through every sector. Business models built on the canal's reliability are suddenly obsolete. Small and medium businesses, lacking deep reserves, face bankruptcy as shipping costs soar and delays mount. Insurance and legal chaos follow. Billions in contracts are now in dispute, and premiums skyrocket. The world's largest insurers scramble to assess their exposure. Legal battles over spoiled goods and missed deadlines will clog courts for years. Nations that built economies around efficient global trade now face painful choices: reshore production or endure higher costs and less choice. The era of cheap, seamless globalization is in jeopardy. The pain will be felt from Wall Street to Main Street. Beyond the numbers, there's a human cost. Tens of thousands of seafarers are stranded, isolated on ships with dwindling supplies and no answers. Their families wait anxiously while shortages of food and water grow. At home, consumers will see food and energy prices surge. Imported goods will become luxuries, and inflation will hit the most vulnerable hardest. Oil and gas shipments are delayed, driving up prices at the pump and on utility bills. In Panama, protests erupt as the canal's closure threatens jobs and national pride, reviving old wounds about sovereignty. The country's stability is at risk, adding another layer to the crisis. The closure is not just about ships, it's about people caught in the crossfire. We spoke with experts, and their verdict is grim. Dr. Helena Vance, maritime security analyst, says the U.S. must provide ironclad evidence of the threat. Anything less is seen as economic warfare. Dr. Marcus Thorne, former IMF economist, calls this a heart attack for global trade, warning of a sharp global recession if the canal isn't reopened soon. Professor Alistair Finch, political scientist, sees a failure of diplomacy and a propaganda victory for America's rivals, especially China and Russia. China will use this to push its Belt and Road Initiative and seek alternative routes, while Russia amplifies anti-American sentiment. Logistics expert Cynthia Chen says the era of hyper-efficient, fragile supply chains is over. Resilience will now be the priority. Companies and countries will spend billions to build redundancy and source goods closer to home. The world will be less efficient, but hopefully less fragile. This crisis is a turning point for globalization. The rules of global trade are being rewritten in real time. The world must adapt or be left behind. The closure has reset the global chessboard. The U.S. has spent enormous political capital, and allies are questioning its reliability. China, the canal's biggest user, is seizing the moment to promote its own trade routes and challenge U.S. dominance. Russia and other powers exploit the crisis to sow discord and push for a multipolar world. Regional powers like Brazil, India, and South Africa must now navigate a new, uncertain landscape. Panama is caught between U.S. pressure and domestic outrage, its stability now a global concern. The shock waves are just beginning, and the balance of power may be permanently altered. The world order is in flux. We stand at a crossroads. The first priority is de-escalation and transparency. The U.S. must explain its actions and build a coalition to prevent further chaos. Humanitarian aid for stranded crews and coordination to reroute essential goods are urgent. This is a moment for global cooperation, not protectionism. The crisis exposes the fragility of our just-in-time world. We must invest in resilience, redundant infrastructure, diversified supply, and new models for global trade. The choices made now will define the century. Will we retreat into nationalism or build a more robust, cooperative system? The future of globalization is being decided in real time. The canal's gates are closed, but a window for a better path remains if we act quickly. The world is watching,